This is Andrew, and welcome to this lesson on the art of Googling. If you're someone who uses Google a lot, this lesson will help you immensely in your future studies and career. Ask yourself, how well can you find exactly what you want on the internet? Are you sure you're finding the best content or all there is? You should be using the expert internet researching skills you learn here to help you become a more independent learner and improve the quality of your future assignments related to learning theories, design frameworks, and interactive learning objects. So at the end of this lesson, you should be able to describe how search engines work and don't work, and also use operators to hone your searches. These two men created Google in 1998 by developing an algorithm they called PageRank, which we'll discuss briefly later. The program was very effective at retrieving relevant content from search strings, which made Google a favorite among internet users. Google has an immense amount of servers that store databases. These databases are continuously being updated and added to by programs sometimes called web spiders, which crawl the internet following links. The spiders take content they find, parse it, or split it up into categorizable chunks, and add it to Google's databases, which is also called indexing. When you search Google, you're not actually searching the internet, but you're searching Google's database servers. Because you're only searching what Google spiders have found, there's a large part of the internet that, like an iceberg, has uncharted territory. This hidden part of the internet is called the deep web. When you are searching the web, you are really only searching the surface web. When you search, how do you know the best results come up first? Well, in all honesty, you don't. You're trusting PageRank, Google's algorithm, to rank and order the results for you. PageRank is kept fairly mysterious, but it essentially ranks pages by the amount and popularity of referrers or links to the page. Small sites have few referrers, while large sites have more referrers from either small sites or other large sites. One of the major reasons PageRank is mysterious is because web developers purposely manipulate their sites to get their sites higher rankings when they are indexed by Google spiders. This is called search engine optimization, which all good sites do. However, if spammers understood the exact PageRank algorithm, then they would optimize their sites so they would consistently rank high. Ultimately, this means that every search would result in ads for Viagra or weight loss pills, which would make Google useless. And so we've learned that you never search the whole web, only the surface. And an algorithm, which is imperfect, tells you what is relevant. PageRank isn't perfect because it doesn't know your brain, only the search strings you give it. Trusting it to retrieve exactly what you want in the order you want it is therefore not an effective strategy. Does this mean we should give up Google? No, we just need to understand its limitations and use it well. We can use complex search strings so that the algorithm doesn't guess what we want. The rest of this lesson will teach you how to create these complex search strings using Google operators. We can create more specific searches that better target what we want by using Google operators. An operator is a word that precedes your search term to provide more specificity to your search. For example, by writing site : before a web URL in your search string, you can search in specific domains. Or using file type before an accepted file extension like PDF or DOC will search for specific types of documents. We're now going to practice using some of these operators so you can see their power. You should open Google in another tab and search along with me. The first operator we'll experiment with is quotations. We put quotes around terms when we want to search for them in web pages as one string. In this example, we've searched for learning design without quotations. Notice that there are 703 million results, far too many to reasonably look through. Each of these pages has the words learning and design somewhere in them, but not necessarily together or in the right order. When we use quotes around the words learning design, we are restricting our search to only those pages that have these two words together in this order. So our search will result in fewer results, but they will be more relevant. Next, we're going to use the term in title with a colon before a term to further restrict the search results to only those pages that have the desired search terms in the title of the web pages. We do this by writing in title : next to our term, being careful not to add any spaces. Here, I've searched for in title : learning plus the word design. In this example, the search returns pages with the word learning in the title and the word design somewhere in the document. Notice that there are nearly 13 million results. In the next example, I use quotes around the words learning design as well as the in title operator. This search string results in pages with the phrase learning design in the title. Notice that there are now only nearly 40,000 results, much fewer than 13 million, but these pages are likely much more relevant. Now that we know how to search within the titles of web pages to make our searches more restrictive and relevant, we're going to learn how to restrict our searches to specific domains and sites. You may want to do this if you're searching documents within a specific organization, which is very helpful when doing research. In this example, I use the operator site : next to the domain name uvic.ca, again being very careful not to include any spaces. Notice that there are nearly around 2.25 million results. These are all web pages and documents that have been indexed on UVic's servers. Next, we're going to restrict our search further by searching within UVic's documents for pages with the phrase learning design in the quotes. Notice that we have only about 2,000 results now. We can start to further restrict our search by adding the in title operator to our phrase to search UVic documents with learning design in the title. Now we have 10 results, a number we can easily review. If you haven't already, you should now pause the video and practice using quotations, in title, and cite to see if you can make Google behave similarly to my examples. In the next example, we're going to restrict our searches to specific file types. Google doesn't just index web pages that it finds on the internet. It also includes many other types of documents like PDFs, Word files, PowerPoint files, Excel files, and so on. Searching different types of documents can be handy, for example, when looking for reports, presentations, or data. Here, I search for PDF files with the phrase learning design in their titles. Notice that I included the operator file type : with the file extension PDF, again without any spaces. Rather than returning web pages, Google now returns printable documents which may be reports, digital books, research papers, and so on. I only retrieved about 1,700 results rather than several million. In this next example, I use the operator file type, but with the PowerPoint extension to find 85 PowerPoint files with learning design in their title. I can also do the same search, but for Word documents using the DOC file extension. There are a number of different file extensions that Google recognizes. Please see our course site for a link to these different extensions. In our last example, we're going to use the operator in URL to find web pages that have specific terms in their file or directory names. There are many reasons why you may want to use the operator in URL. Sometimes you may find one or more very useful files within a specific directory on a website, and you may want to see what other files are there. Or you may want to search files within American universities, all of which have .edu in their domain names. To do this, in URL can help you restrict your searches to specific directories, file names, or terms in domain names. It's important to recognize how URLs work first. When you see /s in the URL, this means that the server you are viewing content on has files saved in specific directories, similarly to how you save files on your own computer in different folders. In this example URL, there is a server whose address is web.uvic.ca. And on this server, there is a folder or directory called Calendar 2014. This is the directory where UVic stores web pages for each course in the 2014 calendar. I'm going to copy-paste web.uvic.ca/calendar 2014 and use it with the operator in URL so that I can find web pages that are stored in this directory. This allows me to search for terms within the course descriptions in UVic's 2014 academic calendar. For example, using this in URL search term and Batman, I can find a course taught at UVic about the science of Batman. Yes, this course actually exists. Similarly, by using the in URL string with the term vampires, I can search for courses about vampires, and yes, those actually exist as well. You should now pause the video and practice using file type and in URL to see if you can make Google behave similarly to my examples. Your task now is to be prepared to answer quiz questions about Google operators and to use these new skills to search for relevant information related to your course assignments. This video is a core lesson that should help you in your future assignments. You should be using these new skills to help you work more independently, effectively, and efficiently when researching online resources. Thanks for listening, and if you have any questions about this or other lessons, please feel free to contact me.